Hey guys, Bambi here with Creatively Bambi, and today I'm sharing some of my top health tips. We could all be a little healthier, right? Especially when you're a mom, and whether you're working in the home, working out of the home, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, you're still working. Bottom line. And a lot of times your health is not always a priority. Not because you don't want it to be, because you do want to feel good and you probably want to look good, but you just feel like you don't have the time. Well, I have some simple ways that I can prioritize my own health. I'm going to share them with you today, and hopefully you can apply them, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time. Some things take no time at all. It's just about making a shift. So here is health tip number 1. I would say 99% of the time I don't eat late. A lot of time I'm up late working, but I say, you know what, as soon as I go to sleep, I'll forget that I got a little hungry. Because late night, whether I'm working or whether I'm folding clothes, it's not enough time for me to burn off the calories and the fat that I might consume if I go and eat. Now there are some times, I'm not gonna lie, when I'm like, forget this whole eating late thing. And I would say probably about once every 2 to 3 weeks, I might just bite the bullet and go get something to eat. I have some gluten-free toast that I have, or gluten-free bread that I keep in my refrigerator downstairs, and I might go toast some of that and put a little nut butter on there, or a little bit of jelly on there, and that will hold me over. But I don't ever late night go eat chips, go eat junk food. I just don't do it. There was a time when I was in a habit of, after my kids would go to sleep, I would eat a bowl of what was seemingly healthy cereal, and it is loaded with sugar, and I didn't realize it at the time, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get my baby weight off. But I cut out eating that cereal late at night after my kids went to sleep, and I dropped like 10 pounds automatically. I'm not too much of a calorie counter and a jump on the scale type of gal. Obviously, I'm not skin and bones, and there might be areas that are a little softer than what they were when I was in my 20s and even in my 30s. And for anybody who's curious, I'm 41. I just turned 41 in August. But I have never been a petite gal. Some people might say that I might be a little thick, but it is what it is. I've always had a little meat on my bones, and that's okay with me. I've never been petite, like I said. But one of the ways that I do keep my weight and my health in check is to not eat late at night. That is a habit that I just don't have, and that's one of the things that I chose to master, and I'm certainly glad I did. Another thing that I do to try to stay healthy, and it's kind of along the lines of food, is I can remember when I was probably in my 20s at Thanksgiving dinner, one time I overate and I absolutely stuffed myself, and it felt miserable. And from that day on, I said to myself, I am never going to overeat again. And I think I'm going to say I was probably 24, 25, 41 years old now, and I've never done it since. And I've seen people at the dinner table have to unbutton their pants. That's their prerogative. For me, I just hate that feeling of feeling so stuffed that you can't move, or feeling like you have to go to sleep right after you eat. It's one thing if you're exhausted, but if you ate so much that you have to go to sleep, that's probably not a good thing. So that's one of the things that I also do to stay healthy. Here's number 3. One of the things I do on a regular basis to stay healthy is I make sure that I keep moving. I used to be an avid runner. When my husband and I met, we would go for jogs together. I ran track in high school, and I loved that feeling of like my heart pumping, and sometimes your chest would, you could feel your chest get a little bit tight because you were out there running so hard. I ran through, I would say right before we moved back up to DC from Savannah, 2008-ish, 2007. I had to stop running because it started to hurt my knee. I'm not a big girl. I didn't all of a sudden put on a whole bunch of weight. I was having babies. I have 3 kids, but I just couldn't run anymore. So I had to compensate with for the running. By now, I walk. A lot of times what I'll do, and you may see it in some of my videos, probably even on Instagram stories too. I'll do Instagram stories while I'm out walking. It's a good way for me to engage with people. But I drop my kids off at school, and then boom, I go for a walk. And here is tip number for is to make sure that you're consuming the right foods. I know that goes without saying, but here is a simple way to get that done. You have to food prep. So, for example, I don't mind celery. I like celery. I like to have celery and actually dip it into the almond butter that I get from my husband. Well, I get the celery, and if I don't wash it and cut it up into its little pieces that I can dip into the nut butter, I won't eat it. It's just the way it is, because when I need something to eat, I like to get it and move on. I don't always like to take a lot of time to prepare a snack or a balanced meal. Same thing with, here's an example, water. Sometimes it'll get to be the end of the day and I'll realize I didn't drink a whole lot of water that day. But if I fill this up and it's a pretty large container, I will make sure that thing is empty and I'll refill it a few times a day. So making sure everything is conveniently placed for you can make a huge difference when you're trying to make sure you're getting in all those fruits and vegetables and also your water. Those are my health tips. I hope you can use those. I'm a 40-something mom, 41 to be exact, like I said, and I consider myself to be a pretty healthy gal. I like to exercise. I like to eat well. I'm not going to lie and act like I don't enjoy sweets, because I do. Sometimes I can't walk past a cookie without grabbing one, but we do have to practice discipline to make sure that we can be the best moms we can be. And for me in particular, I have a husband and I have a family that I'm taking care of, and I have businesses that I'm running, and I have to have optimum energy, and I need to be as healthy as possible so I can get those things done. So I hope you can apply those tips to your life as well. Thanks for checking in with me today. I'll see you next time.